Good morning, 早上好. Do you know how to ask a question in Chinese? And how many question patterns are there in Chinese? Actually, there are only 5. Yes, 5 basic question patterns. Today, we are going to learn together. The most basic question is yes or no question, right? Okay, there are 2 types of yes or no questions in Chinese. One is the question with ma in the end. And another one is verb, 不 verb. For example, do you love me? Do you love me? It's a question like yes or no, right? In Chinese, when you want to ask a yes or no question, basically it's very easy. You just put ma in the end of the sentence. So, do you love me? It's 你爱我吗? 你 means you. 爱 means love. 我 means me. 吗 is a question mark, which is a yes or no question mark. So, do you love me? It's you love me, right? Easy like that. So, we don't have like a do like English. In Chinese, we just put ma in the end of the sentence. It's a yes or no question. And you don't need to change the order. So, SVO, we don't need to change. So, you love me, ma, which means do you love me, okay? Okay, so do you love me? It's you love me, ma. Okay, remember, when you see ma in the end of the sentence, it's a yes or no question. Okay, and a yes or no question you can also ask like this way. 你爱不爱我? 你爱不爱我? What does it mean? There's no ma, but it's also a yes or no question. Okay, 你 means you, 爱 means love, 不 means no, 爱 means love. So 爱不爱 is love or not, don't love. So basically it's like the do you love me or not? It's also a yes or no question, right? Okay, remember, yes or no question in Chinese, first, it's put the ma in the end of the sentence. You don't need to change the order. And second, it's a verb, 不 verb, yes or no, love or don't love. Okay, so love, you can just say 爱. If you don't love, you can just say 不爱. Okay, so do you love me in Chinese? 2 ways to say. First, 你爱我吗? 爱. Okay, love. Or 你爱不爱我? Do you love me or not? For example, 不爱. Okay, remember. 你爱我吗? Or 你爱不爱我? Both of them means do you love me or do you love me or not? It's a yes or no question. Okay, we just learned how to ask a yes or no question in Chinese with ma or verb, 不 verb. Okay, do you know how to ask a specific question in Chinese? It's similar like English. You just need to put the specific question word. For example, why do you love me? Why do you love me? In Chinese, you can say 你为什么爱我? 你为什么爱我? Why do you love me? 你 means you. 为什么? 为什么 means why. 爱 love 我 me. Why do you love me? In English, you will put the question word in the beginning of the sentence. In Chinese, it depends because in Chinese, we will never change the order. Even if it's a question or if it's an answer, we will keep the order like subject, verb, and object. And where do we put the question word? It depends. The reason is here, you can put it here. Of course, we can also say 为什么你爱我? As long as you keep the structure SVO, and it depends of is a reason. If it's a reason, you can put after the subject or before the subject. Okay, so specific question pattern is similar like English. You just need to put the question word into the sentence. But remember, it's not like English. English, you will change the order, like why do you love me? You put why in the beginning of a sentence. But in Chinese, it all depends. But the most important thing is you have to keep SVO, this order. Okay. Next one, the fourth question pattern in Chinese. It's also like English. It's select question, right? So select question is like the A or B. So do you love me or her? Do you love me or her? So we will use 还是. Of course, there are many like the select word, but the most basic one it's 还是. It's like English or A or B 还是. So do you love me or her? You can say 你爱我还是他? 你 means you, 爱 means love, 我 means me, 还是 or 他 her or she. Okay, do you love me or her? 你爱我还是他? Okay, so as long as you learned these four question patterns, you already know how to ask a question, like a yes or no question, or like a specific question, or select question. Remember, the key word is ma, verb, bu, verb, and the question word, and 还是. Okay. Last question pattern in Chinese, it's a rhetorical question. In English, also similar like this, right? Like, don't you love me? Like that, right? Actually, rhetorical question, sometimes it's also a negation sentence, because with bu inside. With bu, it's a negation word, right? Okay, so don't you love me? In Chinese, we can say 难道你不爱我吗? 难道你不爱我吗? When you say 难道不吗? Definitely it's a rhetorical question. Don't you? Can't you? Sometimes like that. So sometimes you don't need to say 难道, you just say 你不爱我吗? Don't you love me? Don't you love me? You can say 你不爱我吗? If you put 难道你不爱我吗? It's kind of more emphasize this sentence. Really, don't you love me? Okay, but it's very difficult to explain 难道is like the could it be said like this way? Is it okay? Like that. But basically, you don't need to translate 难道 just emphasize the whole rhetorical question. Okay, and also 难道 has many other meanings here. Okay, so when you say 难道不吗, remember it's a rhetorical question. So in Chinese, basically we have five basic question patterns. One, yes or no questions. Yes or no questions, it's put ma in the end of sentence, or verb, bu, verb. And verb, bu, verb, in this case, you don't need to put ma anymore, because it's the same meaning. Do you love me? Or do you love me or not? Is the same question, right? 你爱我吗? Or 你爱不爱我? Yes or no? 爱 or 不爱. Okay. And then the second, and then the third question pattern is a specific question, like why, where, what. Okay, and the fourth question pattern is like the select question, A or B. 你爱我还是他? Do you love me or her? Okay, and the last one is a rhetoric question, like don't you love me? Okay, so remember, as long as you remember the keywords here, you can ask Chinese questions easily. Remember, yes or no, 吗 or verb, 不 verb. And the specific question, put the specific word here. Okay, don't change the order. And A or B, basically we use 还是, the most basic, or like English, 还是. And if a rhetoric question, 难道不吗? Okay, thank you for watching today. I hope you can remember these 5 question patterns. Very important. When you want to ask a question in Chinese, think about these 5 patterns, okay? Thank you for watching today. I will see you next time. Bye bye.